Hello everyone and welcome. I wanted to do a little bit of a different video today because we often talk about creating great experiences and engaging experiences and so on for visitors. And I kind of wanted to try and focus on doing the opposite, or kind of the opposite. Relaxing, chilling experiences. I feel like there is a sort of tiredness or exhaustion in society generally. Maybe it's just me, maybe you disagree, please let me know in the comments below. But I feel a bit like I haven't actually been to a lot of museums lately, or museums or heritage visits lately, because I've been so exhausted. I've been looking after elderly sick family members. My parents, my mum died not so long ago after a long period of illness, and I'm now looking after my not so well 80-year-old dad. And if you've ever been in a caretaking situation, it's exhausting physically and mentally. And I think when you're looking after other people, maybe your children, maybe elderly or sick family members, or maybe you're just going about your daily life doing a full-time job, which is never full-time really, is it? It's always a lot more, or trying to do projects or whatever. It's hard, it's really exhausting, and it can be difficult when you visit places or go to experiences to actually have the energy to engage or to fully take advantage of all the wonderful events and activities and so on they've set up. And I sometimes find that I feel a little guilty if I'm visiting a place and I don't really have the energy to try everything or to sort of fully engage in things. Because I want to, I've also paid to maybe come and visit, and I want to take full advantage of what they have to offer. But it's hard to have the extra energy sometimes, I feel. And I have a feeling I'm not the only one. So I thought maybe we should actually try and have some focus on how we can create chilling experience or relaxing spaces. Can museums or heritage sites help to do that? Can we somehow play a role in also creating things that maybe are not so hectic or full-on engagement or participation all the time? I definitely think museums can, and I think there are a lot of good things to take away with that. Perhaps even new ways of learning, new ways of getting of engaging with visitors and that. So I thought we should have a little look at that, and please let me know if you have any experiences in this, in museum or heritage sites, or also what would you like to have a museum do if you come and you want to experience but you're also really tired, or maybe not feeling like you sort of want to engage fully. How can you have a relaxing experience and at the same time actually engage in what the site has to offer? And as always, remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel and add your comments below. I think one of the first things we really need to do is to make it okay to chill and relax and actually do nothing in a museum. It's not really now, is it? Because we're always asking so much of visitors and always sort of crying out for their attention. But just make it okay. And sometimes that can be simple. I mean, I saw this little corner in a local museum not far from where I live. It was a sort of a 1970s interior and furniture corner with, if you were a child in the 70s, you probably recognize, or 80s maybe even, you would probably recognize this table or chairs and sofa a bit in the same style. And there were like, there was a bookshelf as well. You could just sit and read if you wanted to. And it just encouraged visitors to have a seat and recharge your batteries. And a lot of people sat there for a long time and just took in the atmosphere, remembering what it was like having a sofa like that when they were children maybe, or reading a book or playing a board game or something like that. And some just sat there, not really doing anything, just observing other visitors. And I think maybe that's all the encouragement it takes, really. Just sit and do maybe nothing, recharge your batteries. And making that okay and actually encouraging it, I think is a brilliant way of start. And that means, create the spaces for it. Like, for example, this one, it doesn't have to be much. Encourage chilling, encourage just sitting and observing. You get a lot, you take a lot with you, I believe, from that. And especially when you are in a very immersive environment, and maybe the museum has made good use of interior and spaces and design and so on, you can really take a lot with you just from observing. Make good use of the fact that people are relaxed, because we know that when you are relaxed, you also have your guards down, and that means you're open for new experiences, you're open to new impressions, you're open to learning. A way of doing that, this is from the Banqueting House in London, where they used audio guides mainly. So you can see people lying there on these beanbags and just listening to the audio guides, looking up at the famous attic there, and listening to the details. And of course, this doesn't really encourage sort of much interaction, and yet it does, because you are interacting very much with the building, with the interior, and at the end of the day, people also started to engage with each other, actually, because once you've listened through an audio guide, you kind of want to share what you've experienced. And it was a wonderful way of actually dive into details. And it also meant the space encouraged chilling, because there wasn't a lot of moving about. Of course, people could walk around and look out of the windows and look at the displays and so on, but because there were so many people just lying down and listening, the experience became very different from what you normally see, or what you normally take in when you're visiting museums. And I think also sometimes we just need to have a think about what visitors need. We always imagine that we know that somehow, that we think people want to engage, or people want to do activities, people want to touch and feel and do. And I think a lot of the time, yes, maybe they do, but maybe also a lot of the time they don't. Maybe they just want to sit and observe. And we've moved away from observing or having observing experiences for a long time. I think for a long time in museums, it's been about participation, it's been about engagement, and it's been about immersive experiences. But they can be many different things. And there's no denying that when we are relaxed, we just take in an experience in a different way. We are more open to learning. We are more open to also to social interaction. We are more open to our imagination, to our creativity, and to our inner world, which is, let's face it, where a lot of our creativity lies anyway. So I think there is a lot to be said for trying to create a chilling experience once in a while. It's not always easy to do, and you can't always guarantee that people will engage or that people will take it in. But I think there is a tendency nowadays of actually wanting to. And maybe it comes from, as I talked about, this sense of exhaustion or tiredness. Or maybe I'm wrong about this, I'm not sure, but I think museums can play an active role in this, and they can maybe get a different kind of engagement started with visitors simply by encouraging them to relax and to take in a space in a very different way. I'm really curious to know what you think about this, and if you think there's something in this that maybe museums could start and take on board or learn from or start to experiment with maybe, please let me know your thoughts on this.